This gonna be my joke video for the YouTube streets, Something simple and funny. I met Anton before. Yeah, he seemed like a young, he younger than me, so I just trying to see, hey, how did young people do in the YouTube streets? Being 50, what I want to know. So I'm here to give my perspective. Let's do it.
Welcome to the front of the congregation.
Welcome to the front of the congregation.
I heard.
I don't know why you would wear a hat and sunglasses and a hat and inside the house. But he always on Chicago. He from the D. He from the D. And I told him, I said, hey, Chicago and Detroit, we both run together because we like brother and sister, cousins, coming up straight up out of Mississippi and Alabama. If you do your family history, you'll know that. But if you don't, I don't know. But do your family history, you're going to see where your people come from.
That Brendan, what is his name? Brandon Johnson?
Brandon Johnson?
Is feeling a certain type of way. Oh, we got a good show lined up for y'all today. Make sure y'all hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications. Also, make sure that you tap into that Teach bag. They got a whole new gift bag for us. So anybody that's ordering Teach Hanley right now, and you messing with something else, you missing out on Teach because they gave me the special. I'm gonna actually show you.
Because they gave him the special. Just now gave it to him. But they would never give it to nobody else. It's Teach Hanley custom pack. Custom pack adds on Daniels. It should have a signature right down there somewhere in the trademark specifically for him, so that way he can get this percentage.
Some of the stuff that they're going to be sending us when you get your new Teach subscription. If you have not already got your Teach subscription, that link is in the description. Don't mess with nobody else's Teach. Let's rock it.
Hey, don't mess with nobody else shit. I got the best dope you got on. Sounds good.
Out with Teach here. And then again, I dropped the video inside of the Patreon yesterday, and I'm gonna confirm. I'm a support additional content with additional content inside of the Patreon. Let's get it. The Chicago mayor is feeling some type of way. I want to share with y'all.
He feeling some type of way. I want to know what way he feeling.
Video or a couple different videos of what it is that you guys are facing out here in Chicago. And then we're going to deep dive into it. So shout out to the Chicago mayor. I heard he wanted to run in the victim Olympics, so we're going to bring him to the front of the congregation and have a conversation. Hit a like on the YouTube algorithm. Let's get it popping.
Well, good morning. Both the mayor and the interim police superintendent say they want to take a more focused look at the crime here in Chicago.
My thing is, they say all this, right? I'm 50 plus. I'm from the city. The same crime they had then, it's the same crime they got now. Police versus gangs. That's it. And then you got your other criminals. Come on, man. But this guy, he trips me out because he's from the D, but he never commented on the D like that.
And that's what we're working on. Getting to know those areas that we need to focus on. Getting to know those blocks even that we need to focus on.
Chicago has suffered a great deal of pain. And all of us have experienced that pain for a very long time in Chicago. And it's one of the motivations that led me to this.
I might have to research my own man. What part of Chicago he from? But hey, it is what it is. It's Chicago. Third largest city in the United States. Now you go look it up. It's only LA, New York, and Chicago. Sometimes Philadelphia or the D, depending on the population, if you're going population wise. But this really our way. When you look on the world map, they don't look for you. They ain't looking for your town. If you ain't one of them three, they're not looking for your town. Now, researching some money and all the other things, yeah, but I'm just saying straight off the map. You give me an image of a map and show you your city on the goddamn map.
Office.
The response.
Suber, send me that article. Send me that article, Suter. So here's the thing. The Chicago mayor
send him the article. Go look it up yourself. shit, hell.
And this is going to get a little bit more spicy, so go ahead and buckle up, y'all. The Chicago mayor is addressing the criticisms that people are levying against him and what's going on inside of the city after the previous weekend, the Memorial Day weekend. It had 50 plus shootings, including a 2-year-old all the way up into a 7-year-old.
That's not new stuff for Chicago. See, that's why they're using the shooting. They say this how many got shot. Just people getting shot like that since I've been coming up. Everybody don't come out and report I got shot or shot at, how many times somebody, no. They can tell you any number. But that's what he's supposed to be. He's a smart guy, though.
77-year-old. Wild, I know. Absolutely wild.
It's not wild to me, though. When I see Chicago, when I see stuff like that, I'll be like, when I came up, if you want shootings, they didn't even calculate shootings. All this stuff started when Obama came. When he came in the presidency, that's when everybody started, because they made it a black and white issue on a lot of terms, I already saw with the plug. I have to make a special video for that. It won't even be on YouTube.
Meanwhile, he was on a tour, on a picnic tour, instead of shoring up the resources in order to ensure crime is stopped so that you make it safer for businesses to come into the city. Economics 101. And he's now.
Hey, this economics zero for him. Don't know what the fuck you talking about. You ain't from no Chicago. If you so cold like that, that means you should be the mayor of Detroit. You get that in order. Because it's not going to be no easy thing just because hey, I'm the mayor now. Everybody stop criming. All the criminals, y'all stop criming.
Levying criticism after another bloody weekend in which dozens of people allegedly had succumbed to gun violence again in Chicago. Let's continue. Thank you, Ash. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to definitely be reading super chats throughout the show.
Coming after 10 people were killed.
I'm definitely going to read that. But I'm going to read it too when they send it to me. If they don't, then they won't.
Over the week.
You only need about 100 miles by 100 miles of solar panels to power the entire United States.
Most people need.
We all supposed to follow him.
Right. Shootings, at least a dozen more were shot yesterday.
Look at the scene right there. First of all, y'all. Look at the scene. They talk about killing in Chicago like it's a third world country. Like it's just.
Yeah, you're right. That's what they do. That's how they speak about Chicago, like it's a third world country, but it's not. It's not. Anybody who grew up and come from your city is different pockets and different parts, different crevices that you might not go to, and then some places you might frequent, and then there's some parts you from. But this guy, he always wanted to watch him. He always want to talk about Chicago, but he from Detroit.
This is normal. Killing in Chicago is like breathing. The better story would be, or the more explosive story is if there was one weekend where nobody got shot, nobody killed in Chicago, that would just absolutely blow our minds.
I guess it'll blow his mind. But somewhere in the United States, somebody's still gonna be getting killed, even if it ain't in your city. Somebody getting removed.
Like, it's so normal to see shell casings, caution tape, and police surroundings and blue.
He's saying it's normal. It's not normal. But you know how many blocks it is inside this city? You know how many blocks it is? That could happen on any block. And that's not going to be every day. It's not going to, it's lots of blocks. So he's making it seem like every block, somebody getting shot all the time.
Red lights around you in these videos. Just 10 people just randomly killed in Chicago. Just randomly shot. 10. After a 50-plus weekend on Memorial Day weekend. They holidays is killing holidays. How can the mayor have any criticism for people that criticize leadership inside of a liberal.
Hey, but it's like that out here. If you've lived in the street function, if the news is constantly focused on what the street is doing, the violence, the gang, drugs, all that, that's the first thing they're gonna show. This is all the shit that's going on in the street. That's what the news gonna show you. This was going on in the street. Who got killed? Who this block, that block. And then back when I grew up, every state didn't know what every state. You might look back at your state if you came from that state or city or town. But otherwise, you wouldn't know that. Now everything's just everywhere.
Liberal city that is really a third world country, how can he sit here and have anything to say except for we got to do better?
Today with one deadly shooting. Officers say last night around 7, a shot spotter notification.
See, that sounds corny right there when you say that. You know why it sounds corny? Because it's like, dude, I don't think you've been the mayor a month. Let's say 2 months. So automatically, when he come in, all the violence and all the shit, because he came in office, supposed to stop. I want Anton Daniels to show me how to make it stop in one day. Even the time period since this guy been mayor, how long gonna take it to stop? It's not gonna never stop. Crime ain't gonna never stop. That's just the way it go, you know. Because some people ain't never even worked a job, so that's facts.
Sent police to the 5900 block of South Ashland. Police there found one man shot in the arm in a car leaving the shooting scene. Police claim someone in that car fired shots at a marked squad car. That car crashed a short time later in the 5900 block of South Wells. 5 people were taken into custody. 2 of them, according to police, had been shot, one in the chest. It's unclear where the other man had been shot. Police report they did not fire any shots during the incident.
Is this a
And what's the laughter about? Confusion. What was funny about that?
Rambo movie? Yo, honestly, this sounds like a Sylvester Stallone Expendables or a Arnold Schwarzenegger Commando movie. This sounds insane. This literally sounds insane.
Mayor Johnson campaigned on taking a holistic approach to fighting crime, which includes.
Hey, to me, it don't sound the same. It sounds like Chicago, you know. But let a Detroit guy tell our business.
Included adding more detectives to the ranks, working with faith and community leaders, as well as reopening trauma centers and mental health centers. The mayor responded to those critical of his early approach to trying to get control of the violence in the city.
I think it's important that we're reflective about our approach towards public safety. What I find disingenuous is where were these individuals when schools were being shut down and closed?
What? What? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Listen to this guy.
Do they have a critique then?
And one alderman reminded reporters yesterday that we still have 12 weeks of summer to go, so the city really needs to.
That look like Anton Brown. If you really look at it, look at their facial structure and everything. Take shade of beard off, and then just look at them. Hey, they look alike. That could be his cousin. It could be a play. It could be a ploy. No, that's that chess thinking though.
To reassess its strategy for
It's going to be a bloody summer in Chicago. Let's continue because he wasn't done there. He gave a speech to galvanize the people. You just got to laugh at some of this stuff, man. It's so funny.
He making a speech to galvanize the people too. That's what it sounds like. But we supposed to laugh at him. But it is comical on both sides.
We're not going to allow the press or the media to dictate who our young people are. And
speaking to a group of business leaders today, Mayor Johnson took aim at the quote-unquote media, although he didn't say who he was specifically referring to.
Our political editor Mike Flannery joins us now with more on this. Mike?
Well, here's a fuller version of.
But see, every city is like really a gang. It's all Chicago, it's LA, it's New York, right? Between these three cities, we're going to influence the power or the philosophy to the United States, because we, the United States people, are the population of that make up the vast majority of those who go to the military. It's not going to be this, well, Jimmy from the small town, you getting a whole lot of soldiers, that's what you're getting them, you know. And then everybody else from the big cities, y'all fall right in that. All right, so that make them a group. It's rules and regulations. You sign your name on the paper, whatever, hand up, whatever. Say your name to God, all that. Right? So you become part of the system. Mostly everybody just want the basics that you need every day. You want to live, that's the first thing. And you want to eat. And after so much time in the day, you want to go to sleep. That's it. That's the only thing you're going to do. All the other stuff is just filler. It depends on each person, you know. But let's continue.
Of what the mayor said, so that you can understand what he was referring to there after he said that jobs were his #1 priority.
Are you looking to change your mood? Well, these are full spectrum infused gummies from Hello Mood. I've been trying mood products for about a month now, and all I can
priority.
The #1 priority in Chicago should be getting tougher on crime. And it's all a trick.
I love how people say, get tough on crime. What are you going to do? What else can you do? You can't house all the people in jail. You can't house all the people in penitentiary. What's causing them to do the crime? Now, that's for each individual, you know. As you get older, most people who work criminals, who got a brain that's like you stupid and you still a criminal. At a certain age, you ain't no criminal. Because you know the man. Now, anybody older who used to be a criminal who's squatting out, they'll tell you the man. Ask them, what's the man?
Trickle down effect. Get tougher on crime, then businesses will want to invest in the communities because then they will see an opportunity for them to actually make money and not have sky high insurance rates. If you get tougher on crime and then you fix your schools, everything else follows.
that's the best thing that you can offer to the people of Chicago. Not criticism, not demonization, not a city that is divided over whether or not young people should be seen or heard. We're not going to allow the press or the media to dictate who our young people are. In fact, I'll say it again. If you don't live in Chicago and you're not offering up solutions, stop talking about us.
Nope. Let me tell you exactly what we're going to do.
Yeah, that's one thing. If you ain't even from Chicago, why the fuck you even care? You know, I wouldn't care if I had no interest in this town. I wouldn't even care. Just like I don't care about in places I don't have no interest in. Now, in the YouTube streets, I got interest in everything in the street. But when I go to my house, my interest is where I'm at.
He sounds like a modern woman. He sounds just like these modern women, these single baby mamas that be giving advice on the internet every day about who it is that black men are and how it is that they should move. They'll sit there and tell passport bros, no, don't go where you celebrate it. Don't go where you celebrate it. Go where we can continue to hold you accountable.
I just don't even know. I just fell into the woman topic, but I'm just gonna listen. I'm gonna be quiet. He under me. I was outside when he was still in the house playing Nintendo or whatever they had. He probably had Nintendo. They might have had the Xbox, something. I don't know. I don't know.
For things that we're doing in our own community. Come and hang out with us and offer us up a solution. Man, you're not about to get me killed. I am going to criticize you. I'm going to listen. You might be, Brandon Johnson, worse than Lori Lightfoot. And that's saying something. You might be worse than Lori Lightfoot. We bringing shaming back into the media. The beautiful thing about social media today is what can you do about it? It ain't that you're going to allow anything. You cannot allow anything. We're going to say whatever we want to say. And when we see 50 plus people getting killed over the weekend and they look like us, and then 10 more people shot the next weekend and they look like us, it's not the media. We just.
You heard what he said? They look like us. You know who the us supposed to be black. He automatically assuming it's in Chicago. Some people got killed. They must have all been black people. They gotta be black people. They got to be. There can't be no other people killed. It's gonna only be black people. But that's what the news always say. In this state, when all the crime and the killings happening, it'll always be black people. But at the same time, when you fucking with the street, it does fuel that. But when you messing with the street, it could be any color. I was watching the First 48 yesterday. I'm gonna do a review on that next.
Just reacting to the results. Listen, if there was nothing to react to and everything, you don't see me reacting to what's going on in Iowa or Boise, Idaho. Detroit, Baltimore, Chicago, Los Angeles, Houston. You want a chopping block. You want a chopping block.
Now, you all know I'm sanctified. I really wanted to cuss there, but I was raised better.
Nothing like a good sanctified, saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost, Joe.
Yeah, well, if I use the church, that's what always help me get in. When they get in the political, if you got that church behind you, then he probably some kind of Baptist, I'm assuming. But I know Chicago is always a Catholic town, even the blacks. I grew up under the Catholicism.
To go in there and galvanize the people and the business leaders of tomorrow.
The facts are that 10 killings last weekend were the most in 5 years during the first weekend of June, and a few days earlier, Memorial Day weekend was the bloodiest in 8 years. Now, Mayor Jeff.
The bloodiest in 8 years. That's how they inaugurated you.
But the same thing goes to, you know how Chicago is, man. It's a gangster town. You can check the whole history since its inception. Somebody was always getting killed. Just the big city, You go to the big city, LA, New York, Chicago. Those is what they could say. I don't go to the big city. When I go there, show movies like go to LA, go to New York. And I'm from Chicago. That's what those movies they show when you had 3 TV channels out of 1,000, you still can't find that.
Johnson was sworn in on May 15th. A city council member that Johnson and the Chicago Teachers Union tried unsuccessfully to defeat in the last election told me he's optimistic that the mayor's actual anti-crime policies will be more pragmatic than his rhetoric.
We're not going to defund the police. All that stuff is campaign rhetoric. If we don't have public safety, then the resident.
Campaign rhetoric. It's all campaign rhetoric. The very things that they promise when they get elected, it's all campaign rhetoric, aka they lie to you.
Of Chicago are not going to feel safe, and ultimately it's going to impact economic development.
Now, I did reach out to the mayor's office asking which specific press or media outlets the mayor was criticizing there.
But I agree with him with all the lying. But you know, I learned that when I was 13, 14. Adults always said, "Hey, we know them politicians lying. We all know that, and we paying them. Cause somebody got to still fill the slot. You don't got no state where ain't no politician filling that slot. Somebody always got to be in there. Somebody always got to make that money because it's gonna be paid for by the system. The system automatically pay them their check. The position is open. It's right there.
We do get a response. We'll let you know on our later broadcast. We'll have more.
So shout out to Brendan Johnson, off to a much worse start than Lori Lightfoot, who I like to affectionately refer to as Beetlejuice. And shout out to the people of Chicago that continue to elect their officials based off of campaign.
I wonder how they elect the officials in Detroit. Who's the mayor? Who run it? Is he the mayor of Detroit? No, that's all I wanted to know. You know, I wouldn't vote for him. You know, I wouldn't vote. I didn't vote for none of the mayors because I know the system. No matter which one you get, you still got to pay.
Rhetoric and lies and talking points